We kind of talked a lot about the advantage, but the neutral play is going to be interesting to see. How does Pharaoh utilize the air mobility that Yoshi has to get on through some of these aggressive targeting tools within Arrow, within Boomerang?
But yeah, there's gonna be a lot of damage here, right? There's those 4 up airs we talked about, already up to 80% just for finding a forward tilt, up tilt. There, Yoshi playing. We talk a lot about Yoshi's air game, but not nearly enough about how versatile this character's ground game can be. And Pharaoh is intent on optimizing every single step of it. The landing cloud underneath the boomerang there was absolutely crazy. As now Pharaoh finds continued pressure to get one more chance, but Deltaforce just again locking down this defense, and it hasn't. We saw Pharaoh with that sustained advantage that we talked about earlier, but since then hasn't been able to find another, and Delta's been able to keep these percents close, but Pharaoh's still able to clean it up.
Yeah, beautiful call out with that schnoz right there to get the spike, and now off stage gets on through, and look at that one mistake from Delta. That's going to equal out to so much damage. Pharaoh not quite capitalizing as much as he wanted, but still 34, that's nothing that you could just shake off like normal. Now 76, racking it up nice and quick. That is the thing, Pharaoh, the minute he gets a hit, he takes it to the heavens.
Dude, his advantage state on this character is just so optimized. It's absolutely crazy what he finds with Deltaforce with the beautiful positioning, saying, okay, Pharaoh, you're going to play grounded, you're not going to let me keep you in the air like I want to? Fine, we'll just do it down low instead. And Pharaoh, though, already making the adjustments, trying to find the egg way on the to get the reset, trying to get a little bit of a cheese dog here. He's going to run again, and the forward air, just started the neutral air to close it on out the end. This is the cheekiest stock I've seen in a minute.
It was cheeky, and man, am I here for it. There's a reason why this dinosaur didn't go extinct yet. He's out here killing one of the heroes of time. 43%, finds the forward air, not quite able to do as much as he might like, and now the egg leg gonna equal out to some percent. Not as much as normal, but don't matter, as Egypt's Eye coming on through and keeping the pressure moving.
And you saw that dash dance there in the corner. Pharaoh there, after that one egg lay, was looking for a potential F smash read, but just didn't feel comfortable enough in committing. So instead, picking off, resetting to neutral. One of the big differences you'll see between mid and high-level play, right? Is that these high-level players, when they don't find what they're looking for, they won't commit, they won't try and still scramble. They'll just back off, reset to neutral, and still give themselves a favorable position for the next interaction.
Double nares coming through, kicking each other to the side. That is a beautiful tool within neutral. Those kicks are gonna do so good, but it don't matter. You don't need a kick to end the stock, just a nice little dragon tail to send him up to join the clouds as Pharaoh takes game number 1, and we're heading into what could be a strong lead for Pharaoh.
Man, the fact that Yoshi at low to mid percent says, okay, forward tilt, up tilt, those are my combo starters. They lead into up air, which is a combo move. And then 5%, suddenly your combo starters and your combo move become kill confirms. Right? This character really does just have buttons that do it there for him. It's just the creativity on how you use it, combined with some very floaty movement, which is why we don't see him as commonly as you otherwise would. But Pharaoh is so good at just making you second guess as this character, and playing this character grounded enough that you almost start to forget about his floatiness, forget about his double jump armor, and that's when he really starts to capitalize on it.
Well, hey, you can't forget about that F tilt you mentioned. It is a great combo move, and Deltaforce barely has gotten through away from those tails to avoid extra percent. Now Pharaoh coming on the stage and getting caught up by the jab. Deltaforce almost taking the stock, but just a little bit of misspacing gonna cost him the advantage.
Yeah, and now this reversal coming in, that whole last advantage state was found off of just Deltaforce punishing Pharaoh, catching his bump on right and playing the spacing immaculately for what is just a true option select at that point. Now it's going to be Deltaforce still locking down after the scramble back and forth. Eventually now we finally find a reset, but it's going to be Pharaoh with stage control. He worked his way all the way back to this positioning, but still not able to maintain it, not able to get comfortable, because again, Deltaforce always finds the bomb in the perfect position yet.
Deltaforce came close. finding that bomb, but it was unnecessary, as now look at this, so much more extra credit, and only 83, looking very clean right now. Down throw Nair, but Pharaoh firing right back with the stomp right there. That ground pound from Yoshi can be a very scary tool if you don't respect it properly, but right now Pharaoh the one not quite respecting Deltaforce's tools as needs be.
Right now, it's just gonna be a hero spin, recognizing, hey, you're pushing an unsafe button on shield, you're in the air, you don't have an opportunity to shield yourself and deactivate it, so I'm just gonna come on in, playing on platform, playing a block, using bomb to walk off low, platform, Nair to hit it in, platform to cover it as well. Just so much good pressure there from Deltaforce. They're utilizing his items, utilizing his projectiles to find some very non-committal approach tools here, and that's been what Pharaoh's had an issue with. When they get approached, when they get in these scrambles, Pharaoh's been fine. But it's when Deltaforce gets to approach from mid-stage, gets to have that bomb or that boomerang chase him in, that Pharaoh just hasn't had an answer. He's finally going to take the first stock here, but he's got a lot of work to do if he wants to find two more, and he's only got one left himself in this game number 2.
This is a problem, so question becomes, what solutions is Pharaoh presenting as he dishes out a quick 42, catches the get-up attack, and now locking Deltaforce down beautifully right now. 80%, immaculate job so far.
And now the forward air, right? The pressure switching back, as now it's Deltaforce's turn to potentially close out the stock on this here interaction, but a well-timed air dodge is going to allow Pharaoh to find his way back to stage. He's going to get the egg light, just rack on some pressure. That one is going to hard commit to the forward smash we talked about earlier, but just doesn't lock it in. And yet we're nearing the closing minutes of this game. Pharaoh is trying to give himself a chance in this one, but right now Deltaforce just hasn't been able to get stuck in disadvantage long enough for Pharaoh to have a chance, and he's just going to SD.
Dang, hate to see the ending from Pharaoh, but you know, he was starting to figure it out at the end of that game too, and so it does feel like that although he had a really rough start to that game 1, Pharaoh started to pull through and could definitely have some good momentum and tempo going into this game 3.
I like the more committal playstyle we started to see from Pharaoh at the end of that game. He was actually starting to swing for things where he would reset, and while we talked about the benefits of resetting before, the downside is that you're giving your opponent extra interactions that were going in Pharaoh's favor in game 1, but in game 2 almost entirely went the other way. Now Pharaoh is already opening up out of the gate earlier with that early 70% combo, and again, that's how he needed to start to keep himself in the set.
Yep, that gorgeous combo, a great way to start it off, and I think that is what we were kind of missing in that game number 2. We weren't seeing these high percentage conversions that we saw in game number 1, and now gets the down tilt. Not quite able to find anything extra off of it other than the damage, but it don't matter as that up smash gonna catch Delta lacking on that plat. And now looking immaculate in game number 3 for Pharaoh.
And it was kind of an awkward situation for Deltaforce. He pulled the arrow there, but got trapped in an NIL because of how that startup animation works. And even though that ordinarily would be an upside, the NIL there means that he's stuck in grounded arrow, can't move, and is what allowed Pharaoh to close out that stock. Beautiful stuff from him is now, okay, Pharaoh's just content narrowing, resetting again, but this is what we were talking about. If the scramble interactions are going his way, he's going to play a lot more defensive than if they aren't.
Yep, Delta did a really good job there of catching the armor with the forward air, and now starting to lock down a little bit more percent. Thankfully for him, he secured that stock before taking too much damage himself, and Pharaoh hasn't been able to find a good combo on this stock. And look at that, right as I say that too, drops the F tilt to up air. That's kind of what you need in this moment if you want to keep up, as Delta has been winning the majority of these interactions.
And there's that, right, Delta throws out something low, and then he looks for that double jump forward air high to cover the panic jump. So many people do. Pharaoh looking for a flip but just not able to close it out, and barely going to hold on to his stock for that technical mistake. Deltaforce trying to make him pay, but Yin just not able to close out yet.
It is coming really close to a stock right here for Pharaoh, as he takes another boot to the head and bomb. Not quite finding the hit that Delta wanted, but it don't matter as 152. This Dino is getting close to death here. Delta playing really careful. I love him running up with the shield to kind of turtle a little bit and avoid some of the straight hits. Pharaoh's been leaning out, but now, as I say that, Delta barely makes it through and even comes close to finding the stock there off stage.
And that's what I'm talking about, Yin. That bomb, right? The position, the recognition, throw that on top on let it up, and it finds a perfect space to force out the early air dodge and then the SD from Pharaoh to take that stock and give Delta the potentially all-important stock lead here as these two both approach their final potential stocks of winner's side. But since finding that Pharaoh just wasn't getting hit and able to find the ground line not once but twice to close it out.
And now finds the down air, the kicks, and they set up right into the tail whips at 67%. An amazing combo right here from Delta, and look at that, the egg lay almost got the forward air, but you know what, Delta able to swing on through and live in just another bit longer, but that was a scary disadvantage to suffer.
It was scary, but you can't let it shake you, Yin. And he was looking for the shield.
Oh!
Explode off the timer. You don't see Deltaforce the phone in the hands as he's kicking himself. Yin will use the scene that was Solid Snake, not with Link, but between it was just the egg and